I always like getting the opinions, the point of view from the ladies of the view. I know people think that they're insufferable, but in order to have healthy discourse and in order to understand each other a little bit better, I think this is important. I really like hearing their reasoning behind the way they think, so I can further understand. There's a lot of people that feel the same way. I think you're going to find there's a couple things that's interesting that you'll see in this episode of The View. They'll address Tom Homan, the border czar, and they'll address Donald Trump and Donald Trump's policy for deportation of illegal immigrants, which it was something that he ran on. We voted for it. The people have spoken, and the things that Donald Trump has run on, and he is executing now. This is what the people wanted. This is what the people wanted. I don't see a problem with I don't see a problem with what Donald Trump is doing with deportation. I don't see a problem with it. He's deporting people who are here illegally, and then it seems like it seems like from what I'm hearing, there's levels to this. So the top level are going to be your violent criminals, your criminal criminals. The ones that are. I mean, you're going to have some people here like their only crime is being here illegally, right? That's it. That's the law they broke. They're here illegally. They didn't go through the proper channels. They didn't go through the proper process. They didn't go to the port of entry. They didn't do the things that they were supposed to do to become a citizen of the United States. And then you have people who are criminals, people that have violent pasts. Let's take a look at the ladies of the View. You already know. You already know they're not going to be too happy that with anything that Donald Trump is doing.
Yes.
U.S. border czar Tom Homan has started using ICE agents to conduct a nationwide raid and the U.S. military to carry out mass deportations of undocumented citizens. Now, he told ABC News chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz that this is just the beginning. Take a look.
Is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture.
The estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table.
The acting Homeland Security Secretary said in a statement, criminals will no longer be able to hide in America's schools and churches to avoid arrest. What criminals are hiding in schools?
How many MS-13 members are the age of 14 to 17? Many of them.
So, is this the immigration system fix that people had in mind when they voted? Do you think?
Well, it's hard to tell at this table because no one voted for him. But I think if you were, I don't know yet. It's kind of, it's disturbing what we're seeing, and the headlines and all the coverage would make you think that there's this massive deportation. But by numbers, it contextually, President Obama still remains the deporter in chief. Even if Trump continues at this rate, he will not even hit what President Obama hit in 1 year with 400,000. But the point here is that it's meant to be a PR campaign.
I don't know if she was supposed to say that, man, because doesn't that kind of go against your stance? The president that you guys support so much, President Barack Obama, President Joe Biden, right? You just got through saying, don't look at me like that. Don't you? I think you messed up. Barack Obama has deported more people than Donald Trump. She said that Barack Obama, in 1 year or the first year, deported over 400,000 people. And I think during his entire tenure of president, I believe he deported in excess of 5 million. I think that was the number that I saw. Over 5 million people. So this is the first time I heard someone on The View. Maybe they've said it before, but this is the first time I've heard someone on The View even admit this. So now it's a badge of honor. Oh, look at Donald Trump. Our president deported more. Well, you guys are against people being deported. It's like, oh, well, we want our people who pick our vegetables. We want them to be able to stay here. Look, you guys want the laws or you don't. And I've said this previously. I don't believe any of these people are really in touch. I think they are extremely out of touch. I think they probably stay in gated communities or they stay in luxury buildings with security and doormen. They are not living. They're not living like the rest of us, man. They're not regular schmegular people, man. At least they don't have regular schmegular incomes. So the very thing that they're talking about and they're fighting against, it doesn't affect them. In terms of who their neighbors are going to be. Look, if you're a father, you're a family person, mom, dad, whatever. Look, man, your children are paramount. They are your priority. You want their safety. You want them. Look, man, we want our kids to get a good education. We want them to be safe. We want them to be healthy and happy. We want a great community. Everybody that I've ever talked to that are parents and even non-parents, man, want good neighborhoods. They want good communities where they feel safe and they feel like their children are safe. So I think it's interesting that I think she slipped up. I think she slipped up when she put her little shoulders back and her chest out. Oh, Barack Obama has deported more people than Donald Trump. I don't think she meant to say that. Yeah, that's the point we've been trying to make. You guys sit up here all against deportation, but your favorite presidents, both of them, have deported a lot of people. And I think Joe Biden has deported more people than Donald Trump. Don't quote me on that one. But for sure, I definitely read in multiple sources that President Barack Obama is the deporter in chief. He's the deportation champ. He says, "Oh, well, you think you deporting people? Watch this." That's what Barack said. Watch this. Watch this.
So it's meant to scare people. That's what they're doing right now. And when you look at these flights where they are deporting people back to their origin nation, we don't know who they are. And that's where I'd like to see more transparency. If indeed, right now, everyone on these flights is a violent criminal, I think we can all agree everyone thinks they should leave the country. We were saying that this morning. It's common sense. But what we're not getting is a breakdown of who these people are. On the first day of Trump's presidency, DHS, there was a press release, and they said that they had nabbed more than 300 illegal migrant criminals, including one attempted murder and one child molester. But what about the other 298? What was their crime? Because I think either you own the fact that these are all violent criminals and break down who these people are, what their crime was, and tell the American people, or tell us what they really are and let us have a healthy debate over the disagreement of how this is being carried out.
Because, I think that
This is what you need to know. Everybody that's on that bus or that plane or that's being rounded up or being detained, the ones that are, I shouldn't say being detained, because the ones that are being arrested, those people are here illegally. They've broken the law. Now, they've made it perfectly clear that the violent criminals, the criminals that are whatever, sex traffickers, rapists, murderers, drug dealers, those people are paramount. Those are the ones that are going to get their full attention, and those are the first ones they're going after. But if it's collateral damage, if we just so happen to get somebody else who didn't do any of those types of crimes, but their crime is they're in this country illegal, well, we're going to get them too. They've been very clear on this. Oh, you want a breakdown? Oh, well, of the however many, only one or two were a rapist and a violent criminal. Look, anybody that gets arrested for being here illegally, if they're here illegally, you should be fine with it. You should be fine with it. Anyone that wants to be a citizen of the United States, do it the right way. Follow the correct process. Follow the correct process. It it is the very thing that Donald Trump ran on, and it is one of the things that we voted him in for. So the majority of us feel good about what's going on. You want the you want the people that are here illegally gone, and first and foremost, we want the violent criminals that are illegal immigrants to be gone. Get them up out of here, man.
Answer to your question would be is yes and no for the public. So 87% of Americans support deporting undocumented migrants who've committed crimes in this country. That's nearly a universal opinion that I think we stand by. 55% express some desire to see anyone who's here unlawfully leave. So that's a lot more split. What I'd say is this when we talk about this issue. Most nations on earth deal with the question of how to secure their border and how many migrants to take in. It's not uniquely American. It's not xenophobic to simply care about it. There's national security imperatives. There's economic imperatives. And what we're seeing now, what matters to me is how it's done, that it's done humanely and safely, and that we're prioritizing the people who shouldn't be here. So again, people who have committed offenses against people, but also I think that it's important that we contextualize it because to Sarah's point, in Obama's first term, 3 million people were deported. That's much slower than what Trump's on pace to do right now. And I'd finally say that I think that America is supposed to be a shining city on a hill. I think that we're a place that welcomes migrants. We're stronger for it. But we should prioritize people like refugees. Right now, there's 1,600 Afghans who helped assist us in this war who are on pause under the Trump administration from coming in. Those are the people who need to come first, not economic migrants. We can't house everyone. We can't bring everyone here. But people who helped our country and are fleeing for their lives should always be able to have a place
Be protected,
here.
You're sitting there with that face. I know you want to say something. Actually, don't say anything. We'll be right back, and when we come back, she'll have.
I think she caught Sunny Hostin off guard. I think both of them did. The two ladies previously talked about Barack Obama, okay, and how he's the deporter in chief. Alyssa, I believe her name is, the one that I think is secretly a Trump supporter because, man, she comes to the defense of him, and I know the other ladies don't like it at all. So, Alyssa, the one in the blue, you better be careful. You better understand where you at. You at the View. You on the set of the View. Some things might happen. Listen, she said that Barack Obama deported 3 million in his first term. I think collectively he deported over 5 million. I think I read that. And the first lady has said that he's deporter in chief. That Barack Obama, she said it all proudly, deported more people than Donald Trump. Yeah, this is the thing that you guys try to hide. I wonder how many people that follow The View, they follow, you're going to have fans that's going to follow everything they say. No matter what, they're going to believe it without doing any research. Or they're going to almost believe everything. So those two types of people, of fans of The View, I wonder how they feel if this is the first time they heard that Barack Obama deported more people than Donald Trump. I wonder if a light goes off in their head and they're like, oh, well, you guys are sitting up here fighting against the deportation policies that Donald Trump is implementing right now, but yet the person that you champion all the time, you speak in high favor of him, Barack Obama and even Joe Biden, have deported all of these people. I wonder if it's the first time that they've ever heard that Barack Obama deported more people than Donald Trump. And then she's even saying and bragging about it like it's a badge of honor. Like, oh, under Trump's current pace, he'll never catch Barack Obama. So all these things that you're talking about with Donald Trump, do they apply to Barack Obama too? The way that he's doing it and whether he's doing it humanely, like, does that apply to Barack Obama too? Should we go back and take a look? I mean, I just seen a report. I'm going to have to go ahead and address that as well, that the Trump administration has found almost 100,000 children, missing children. So I'm going to have to get back to that one. So let's continue with the ladies of The View.
That's something to say. Welcome back. We were talking about the start of the nationwide immigration raid, and I was, sweepingly pointing to Sunny Hostin because her face was saying something I felt she wanted to say verbally.
Yeah, to answer your question, which is this the immigration fix that this country wanted? I think absolutely there are certain people that wanted to see this kind of pain and destruction for a certain group or type of immigrant. Because if you look at the numbers, yes, the number of immigrants that come from Mexico or of Mexican born are the largest. But the next largest are Asians. 28% of them come. I don't think they walk across the southern border. I think they come by plane. The next largest are Europeans. I don't think they walk either. I'm just saying immigrants, right?
Oh, not undocumented though.
A lot of them are undocumented, actually.
But that's not the stat for being.
But a lot
Asians
of
are
them
the
come by
second
plane
most.
and then overstay their visas. They overstay their
that's what you
visas.
mean.
They overstay their visas, so they're undocumented. The Europeans that come here that overstay their visas are undocumented, but they don't come across the southern border. So I think there's a very clear message as to what this president wants the look of a criminal migrant to look like. What a
Oh, this is ridiculous. She's embarrassing, man. Of course, you already know she's a race baiter. She's gonna sit up here and make it a race thing. She's so predictable. Look at her, mad. Look at her. Don't be mad. You're talking about people. So I've worked for many international companies that have presence all over the world, or they own other companies all over the world. So when she talks about work visas and stuff like that, or people are here on visas, okay, a lot of that is just stuff that expires. They came here, correctly, and it could just be an administration thing, and they just go. They're in the process of getting, of their visa updated. So for you to sit up here and make this argument is so disingenuous, man. It's a big difference. People who've come here legally, right? It's kind of like your driver's license. Okay, I got a driver's license. I forgot to renew it. Oh, I'm gonna get down to the DMV right away, right? It's different than someone who completely has never had a license, no driver's license at all, and now you're caught driving. You're caught driving the car. There's a huge difference from someone who's had a driver's license pretty much their whole, adult life, and oh, I'm late. I'm late a couple of days or a week or a couple of weeks. I think a lot of us have gone through that, right? So Sunny Hostin, she's disingenuous, and I think that the reason she didn't say anything prior to the break is she was caught off guard. And now she had to formulate this BS point of view. It's crazy to me, man, that she's even trying this, man.
undocumented migrant. And I think that's racist. Let me also say that, in my view, he has circumvented established law by weaponizing the U.S. military.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Generally, before being deported, you have an asylum case pending in front of a court, and you must appear in front of that judge. Right now, there are 3 million asylum cases and 900 judges. That is why the bipartisan bill that was going to be passed addressed that particular issue. Instead of dealing with it legally in that way, and I'm not saying he's doing it illegally, what he did was declared a national emergency that qualifies as a foreign invasion. And on the U.S.-Mexico border, not any other border. And that cleared the way for the Department of Defense to deploy the military at a 60% increase. I just think that our military members, many of them did not join the military to do that job.
They join most of them join the military to defend their country. And if this is one of the ways they have to defend their country, then so be it. What was the number? 14, 15 million illegal immigrants that's in this country? And they had, I forget what the amount was for people who are here for very serious violent crimes. So you're trying to make a case, and I'm sure, and I am probably sure, I haven't researched this part. I'm probably sure the things that you're trying to accuse Donald Trump of right now, Barack Obama probably did the same thing. Probably the same thing. But because it's Donald Trump, you're going to speak out against it. Don't be mad. Look at her. Mouth all open.
And let me say just finally that they are also racially profiling in doing this. In Newark, New Jersey, a business venue on Thursday was raided. And among the citizens that they detained and questioned was a Puerto Rican man and a military vet. For the 50 million thousandth time, Puerto Ricans are Americans and disproportionately serve in the military. And so I say all of this to say that I am disappointed, disgusted, and saddened by what I'm seeing.
Can I make one point?
Only disappointed and disgusted and saddened by what you see if it's done by Donald Trump's administration. But if it's done by Barack Obama's administration, are you all those things? Look at her. Look at her face. She knows she's disingenuous, man. Such a disingenuous person. I believe that her opinion is bought, and it's an opinion that is bought to bring down anything that the Republican Party or Donald Trump is trying to do. I don't believe that she would have the same opinion of a Biden or Barack Obama if it was the same circumstances. Unplug one, plug in the other. She would not be upset. She would not have the opinion that she's having if this was Barack Obama or Joe Biden. And this is the things that people are tired of. So you're seeing more and more Democrat people just come over to thinking common sense. Like, man, wait a minute. Think about this. I said this earlier today. How many people for the first time have heard one of the people that they follow on The View, like they just follow him with childlike faith? How many of them? It's the first time that they heard that Barack Obama deported more people than Donald Trump. You would think it was the other way around, but no. There was a lot of kids separated from their families during the Barack Obama administration. On a few of my recordings, I've told people of the situation that we dealt with a family member. She's like my family. I've known her my whole life. She's my sister, but her husband was deported during the Barack Obama administration. Took 9 months to get it all cleared up and get him back, but he was gone for 9 months. And this man was a manager where he worked. He had several cars that he owned free and clear. Home, actually, the girl that's like our sister, this was his second marriage, and he had grown kids that had been in the United States their entire lives. And the Barack Obama administration deported him. So, man, this is what I think, man. These people have their opinions. I don't think you should just because you like them or are a fan of them, I don't think that you have to like and be a fan of their opinions too. Okay? So let's continue with the lovely ladies of The View.
Let me speak, please.
Let me get.
So, you asked the question, is this what people voted for? I've actually seen some video this weekend of Latinos who voted for Trump crying because now their abuelas and their tios are getting deported.
Right.
I'm having a very hard time mustering up any sympathy for those people.
Yeah.
And look, I'm an immigrant. I know the desperation that it takes to leave your country. Amongst immigrants in particular, there is no doubt that we want anybody who had the opportunity to come to this great country and committed a crime, we want them punished, we want them deported to the fullest extent of the law. But a lot of good, hardworking people who are in our schools, who are our colleagues, who own houses and businesses here, who are the parents of U.S. citizen children, are getting caught up in this. Because it's been reported that ICE offices all over the country have been given a quota. There is no way they meet that quota just with criminal aliens. And let me just say, I think that what he's done with the military, in addition to the legal aspects that may be involved, has a lot to do with a publicity stunt. The point is cruelty. The point is instilling fear. But it's also very costly. A charter DHS flight, it's been reported, is something like $8,500. A military C-130 is $816,000. So each one of those planes is costing us, so that he can have his picture and his photo op, 100 times more what a charter flight would be. And I have been saying for
So what's costing us money is people being here illegally. People that are here illegally, the Biden administration that pretty much just say, hey, come on in. We'll let you wait over here until everything gets cleared up. You have probably the weakest border security administration of all time was the Biden administration. So when you talk about the money that it's going to cost us and cost our country, it is because the people voted to have a strong president that's going to go ahead and secure our borders and get illegal immigrants out of the country. Donald Trump and his administration, they're not saying they don't want people in this country. They don't want illegal immigrants in this country. They want you to do it the correct way. Go ahead and do the correct process to become a legal American citizen.
2 months that people need to get prepared, because he said this was coming and he's living up to that.
Yes.
So what does that mean? It means that the immigrants out there, if you're an undocumented immigrant, if you've got a kid in school, if you've got a U.S. citizen school, let that school know, give them a list of adults that can go pick up that kid if you are taken in. Have your documents ready. If you can consult with a lawyer, por el amor de Dios, háganlo. And all of those people crying right now and feeling bad by the way they voted, there's going to be another election in 2 years. And we're going to have to wait 2 years of pain. So if you want things to change, get yourselves registered, get yourself active. There's no reason why we should be playing, rolling over and
If you're a
playing
lawful
dead.
citizen.
This is what this is all about. They want to get you guys all fired up. They want to go ahead and make it seem like they're all against deportation, even though Barack Obama has got Donald Trump beat. Has huge numbers, man. Google it. Barack Obama has deported a lot of people, but you'll never hear The View talk negative about Barack Obama. Barack Obama separated a lot of kids from their families, but you'll never hear The View talk negative about it. But they'll talk negative about Donald Trump when he deports. Okay, now it's a problem, and of course it's race baiting. It's always about race. Well, you know something? They are deporting illegal immigrants that are in this country. Okay, and as far as I'm concerned, if the number one illegal immigrant that's on your list is people that have committed crime or committed violent crime, get them out of here, man. I don't care if they committed credit card fraud. Get them out of here. Get them out of here, man. Somebody was a victim of that crime. Get them out of here. So they want to pick and choose. They want to pick and choose what laws, we're going to enforce, what laws we're just going to let people slide with, man. This is the case, man. Go ahead and forgive everybody. You want to know what I want them to let people slide with, man? Credit scores. Abolish all credit scores, man. Get rid of them, man. Get rid of credit scores. Let everybody start from zero. Start over. Get rid of taxes. People who owe taxes or whatever. Hey, man, let them slide. Let them people slide, man. Not criminals that are here illegally and they're violent. And they've committed crime in their own countries, and their own countries don't want them back in some cases. So.
If you're a lawful citizen,
Well,
you
of
can
course, if you're a
register to
lawful
vote.
citizen,
But
I'm
again,
not suggesting any illegal person
Well, I just
vote
think
illegally.
it's important to clarify that.
It is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, which marks the liberation of Auschwitz, Birkenau, the
Interesting take from the ladies of The View. What I don't like, man, I don't like the race baiting, and I don't like the fact that they're disingenuous with a lot of their points and the double standards. They have a complete bias for Barack Obama, and this is coming from a former supporter, a former a voter, a former. I probably would have to identify myself as a Democrat. If you're going to have this type of criticism of Trump, then you should also bring along the fact that you should mention every single time that Barack Obama actually has deported more people than Donald Trump. Now, I guarantee you this, if let's say the sentiment of the country just increases and everyone's like really for deportation, like people are just like, publicly in support of it. Let's just say, the voting, how people vote on different types of, they'll do polls, right? Let's say they do all these polls and the polls are just in so much support of deportation. Let's just say for every 10 people, 9 people are like, hell yeah, get them out of here, man. We don't want people that are here unlawfully. You know what the View and other legacy media outlets like them is going to do? They are going to switch up and they're going to say, well, us Democrats did it first. Barack Obama, he deported way more people than Donald Trump. So I bet if those circumstances happened, I bet that the View would change their view on deportation and try to take the stance of, well, Barack Obama is the champion of that. That's the Democrats. The Democrats are strong on deportation. I bet they would change that narrative. We'll wait and see, man. Let's wait and see.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes. But you're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population. So we're going to do this on priority base, as President Trump's promised, but as that aperture opens, there'll be more arrests nationwide.
When you talk about the aperture opening, the estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8 United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.